Don't just throw your fresh okra into the fridge and hope it lasts, because it won't. Okra can turn slimy fast if you wash or store it the wrong way, and that's exactly why so many people end up wasting it. The good news is, keeping it fresh and crisp is actually really simple once you know the right steps. In this video, I'll walk you through how to properly rinse okra without making it sticky, and the best way to store it so it stays fresh for days. The very first thing you need to know about storing okra is this: don't wash it before you put it away. Any extra moisture left on the pods will quickly turn them slimy, and once that happens, they spoil much faster. So instead of rinsing them right after you bring them home, keep them dry until you're ready to cook. Next, take a few minutes to sort through your okra. Look for any pods that are bruised, wilted, or showing dark spots. Remove those right away, because just like with other vegetables, one bad piece can spread and cause the rest to go bad more quickly. By separating the damaged ones, you'll help the good pods last longer. Now, if you notice some of your okra feels a little damp, maybe from condensation in the bag or from the market, go ahead and gently pat it dry with a clean kitchen towel or a paper towel. Keeping the pods completely dry is the single best way to extend their freshness. Once your okra is sorted and dry, it's time to pack it up for storage. Grab a clean, dry food container with a lid. On the bottom of the container, place a single layer of paper towel. This layer will absorb any small amount of moisture that might build up while the okra is in the fridge. Next, arrange the pods on top of the paper towel. Try to spread them out so they're not too crowded or pressed tightly together. Overpacking or pressing them down can actually bruise the okra and shorten its shelf life. After that, add one more layer of paper towel over the top, almost like a protective blanket. This extra layer will help control any moisture from above, keeping the pods crisp. Finally, seal the container with its lid. Now you're ready to store it. Place the container in your refrigerator, either in the vegetable section. Under these conditions, your okra should stay fresh for about 2 to 3 days. That's when you'll get the best flavor, crunch, and bright green color. Of course, after that time, the pods may start to lose their texture, so it's always best to plan your meals and use them fairly quickly. And here's a little question for you. How do you usually store your okra at home? Everyone has their own method, and I'd love to hear your tips in the comments. The second method for keeping okra fresh a little longer is to blanch and freeze it. This way, you can enjoy okra even weeks later without losing too much of its flavor or color. Start by placing your okra in a colander. Rinse it quickly under running water to wash away any dirt or dust. The key here is to rinse, not soak. Don't let it sit in water, because the longer it stays submerged, the more slimy it can become. A fast rinse under the faucet is all it needs. Next, bring a pot of water to a boil. Add a small pinch of salt to the water, not for seasoning, but to help the pods keep their bright green color during the blanching process. Once the water is ready, gently add the okra and let it cook for about 2 minutes. This quick blanching step is important. It stops the natural enzymes in the vegetable that would otherwise make it spoil while still keeping the texture firm. After 2 minutes, remove the pods right away and transfer them into a bowl of ice-cold water. This sudden temperature change is called shocking, and it stops the cooking process immediately. Without this step, the heat would continue to soften the okra, leaving it mushy instead of crisp. Once the okra has cooled down, take it out of the ice bath and spread the pods onto a clean kitchen towel or place them in a colander to drain completely. Make sure they are thoroughly dry before freezing. This part is very important. If you leave any moisture on the pods, they'll form ice crystals in the freezer, and that can ruin both their flavor and texture. When the okra is dry, it's time to pack it for storage. Place the pods into a freezer-safe zip-top bag. Press out as much air as you can before sealing. Removing excess air helps prevent freezer burn, which can leave the okra tough and discolored over time. For extra organization, add a label with the date so you know exactly when you froze them. That way, you won't lose track of how long they've been stored. Finally, place the bag in your freezer. Using this method, your okra can stay fresh for about 2 to 3 months. When you're ready to cook, just take out the portion you need to thaw the entire bag. This method takes a little extra effort, but it's perfect if you buy okra in bulk or want to keep some on hand for future meals. When it comes to cooking with frozen okra, here's some good news. You don't actually need to thaw it before using. In most cases, you can just toss it straight into your pan, soup, or stew, and it will cook beautifully. But if you do want to thaw your okra first, here are 2 simple methods you can try. The first method is quick. Just take out the amount of okra you need, place it in a bowl of cold water, and let it sit for about 5 to 7 minutes. After that, drain the pods and pat them dry before cooking. The key here is to use cold water only. Avoid soaking okra in hot water because the high temperature will make the pods turn mushy and lose their crisp texture. The second method takes a little more time, but it does the best job of preserving flavor. Simply move the okra from the freezer to your refrigerator and let it rest there for 6 to 8 hours. This slow thawing method is especially useful if you plan to use the okra in salads or as a side dish, where you want the pods to be a little softer but still hold their shape. Both methods work well. It really depends on how you plan to use the okra and how much time you have. Now, I'd love to know, when you cook with frozen okra, do you usually cook it straight from the freezer, or do you prefer thawing it first? Share your go-to method in the comments below. Before we wrap up this video, let's take a final look at everything we covered. Fresh okra is a wonderful ingredient, but it does require a little care to keep it at its best. We started with the basics, like storing it completely dry and removing any pods that are bruised or wilted so the rest stay fresh longer. We also learned that blanching and freezing okra allows you to enjoy it for months, as long as you follow the right steps to protect its flavor and texture. We then looked at thawing methods. Sometimes you can cook it straight from the freezer, but when you do want to thaw it, cold water or a slow rest in the refrigerator will give you the best results. And of course, beyond storage tips, we talked about the nutritional benefits of okra. From vitamin C and K to antioxidants, fiber, and important minerals, every serving of okra brings something valuable to your health. So the next time you bring home a batch of fresh pods, you will know exactly how to store, prepare, and cook them in a way that makes the most of their natural goodness. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you never miss out on more simple kitchen tips. And I would love to hear from you. How do you usually store or cook okra at home? Share your ideas in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.